Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a pattern review, and I've started this little cardigan yesterday, and I just wanted to share it with you. I've already done a little bit of knitting on it and I'll show you in a second, but first let's look at the pattern. This is by Nordic Baby Knits and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Liliana Baby Cardigan, and obviously is a baby cardigan for a baby girl, also for a toddler, because she gives us instructions how to knit it for 3 to 6 months, 1-year-old and 2-year-old. I've just started it, so I haven't decided if I'm going to do it for 1-year-old, 2-year-old or 3 to 6 months. But this is what it would look like when it's finished. It's got flower raglan, and from the way we're looking at it, I think these flowers look more like snowdrops, but if we turn them upside down, I think they look like tulips. So you could use this pattern to knit maybe your scarf, or to put a border of these tulips at the bottom of whatever project you're going to knit. But in this one, we're just gonna make the snowdrops on the raglan increases here. So the pattern comes in, on 4 pages, and it's very, very well written. I had no problem whatsoever following it. It's got very precise and clear instructions how to knit this baby cardigan, and I'll show you the next page. So she recommends that we use 100 grams of yarn for a 3 to 6 months baby, 150 for 1-year-old and 200 grams for 2-year-old, and also 3.5 or 4 millimeter needles. I've used an acrylic yarn. This is it, just a 100% acrylic DK yarn from John Lewis, and I'm knitting it with my Nova Cubics 4 millimeter needles, circular needles. Also obviously you need the circular needles, and 5 or 6 buttons, depending how many buttons you want to put down the front. Now on here there are 5 buttons. Then the instructions are to start with 71 stitches cast on. It's a top down cardigan. I've done another one before, an adult size, and I have to say I think this is the easiest way to knit a cardigan. So you start here, 71 stitches, and then you're gonna knit front and back. So we don't knit in the round because it's got buttons down the front. So you start with 71 stitches, and then you work 1 by 1 rib for about 2 centimeters, or obviously if you want the rib to be wider, then you add some more rows. And the only thing that I did differently, the only thing that I added to the pattern was stitch markers. So I put stitch markers before and after every flower, or like she calls it in here 15 stitch of diagram. So before and after that I put stitch markers, because we're going to have to do the increases before and after the flowers in the pattern. So for me it's just easier like that, to have the stitch markers, because then you know where you are and you don't have to keep looking and keep counting. So I recommend that you put stitch markers on your work as well. So when you start the diagram, which is made out of 15 stitches, so we have 15 stitches here, you start with the hashtag, which means you knit on both sides. So we knit on the right side we knit on the wrong side, and that is going to make a garter stitch, and I'll show you that in a second. Then the X, it's purl on the right side and knit on the wrong side, so that's going to make a purl column here and here and here. Then all the stitches that don't have any symbol are knit stitches on the right side and purl stitches on the wrong side. And then we have the yarn overs. Here we have the knit two together. We have the mirror knit two together, which she recommends that we slip one as if to knit one and pass the slip stitch over. And then the other thing, we have the triangle, where we're gonna do a slip one, knit two together and pass the slip stitch. So we're gonna make 3 stitches into one, and that's the tip of the flower. And I want to show you, because I've repeated the diagram once on my cardigan, because I wanted you to see what it looks like. So we're not going to start this cardigan from the cast on, because I have a lot of tutorials on my channel, and it shows you how to do the cast on, how to do the ribbing, and then the instructions on her pattern is they're very clear, so you're not gonna be you're not gonna find it hard. So I went ahead and I've done 1 repeat of the flower, so you see it here. It's it looks like a snowdrop, and if we turn it around, like I said before, it looks like a tulip. Let me just get the diagram so I can show you what it looks like and what she's talking about on straight on the yarn. So here in between, where you can see the garter stitch here, on both sides we did the increases. So I increased every right side, which means how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. So we have 8 increases here, 8 increases here, and in between the increases we work a garter stitch, and this is what it looks like. So this is the front. This is the front of the cardigan. This is the sleeve. This is the back, and this is the other sleeve, and this is the left front. And if we put it like this, oh, sorry about the noises of the, if we put it like this is what the cardigan will look like. So we have the flowers coming from just under the collarbone down, and then this is going to be the sleeves, and on the back we have again the flowers and the garter stitch border. So let's look at a flower. Stretch it out like this so you can see. We have here we have this garter stitch that is knit on both sides, and it makes this garter stitch here that you can see, that one there. And then these are the leaves, these ones here and here, the leaves of the petals of the flower. And the holes that we see, they're the yarn overs, and obviously the knit two together and the SSKs are the shaping of the petals. And here the point of the middle petal is this this triangle symbol key from the diagram. Okay, let's go ahead and work the diagram a second time, or if it's the first time for you, then you can still watch this and go along with me on this one. Now the pattern tells us that we need to increase 1 before and after each flower, and that's why I have my stitch markers here. Now, like I said, they don't tell you on the pattern to put the stitch markers, but it's so much easier to do it. So put your stitch markers before the diagram, 15 stitches of the diagram, and it's going to be so much easier. So the sleeves and the front and the back of the cardigan are garter stitch, so this is it. So I'm going to start by knitting to my first marker. That keeps moving around. So knit to the marker, and now we have to increase one. And she says that we should increase by picking up the yarn in between the stitches. That makes an increase without leaving a hole. So you pick up from the middle of the yarn, put it on the left needle and knit it through the back loop, and I found that looks really nice. And then we pick our stitch marker, move our stitch marker, and we start the diagram. So on the diagram we have to do 4 knits. So we knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we purl 1, the X says purl on right side. We purl 1. Then we knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We purl another 1. And we knit 4. And this should take us to our second marker. And we pick the second marker, put it on. So this is the 15 stitches of the diagram, and like I said, we have to increase before, and we did, and after. So we pick the yarn from in between the stitches, put it on the left needle, and we knit it through the back loop. So now we have the sleeve, which is garter stitch. So we're gonna knit to our next marker. Where we're gonna have to increase another one. And I'm gonna show you one more time how to work the flower, and then I'm gonna speed it up. Okay, so we got to the marker before the flower, so we increase 1, we pick it up on the left, knit it through the back loop, move the marker. So we're back to the flower, and we have knit 4, purl 1, knit 5, purl another one, which is the X, and knit 4. And this took us to our next marker, where we're going to pick it up, and we're going to do another increase because this is after our flower. So keep going until the end of the row, and then I'll show you how to do the wrong side. Okay, so we finished the right side row, so now we have to do the wrong side row. The hashtags tell us knit on both sides, which makes the garter stitch. So we're going to start by knitting all the stitches to the marker. For the wrong side row, we don't do any increases. We slip the marker, and then we have knit 4. Well, sorry, we start here. Knit 4, then the X on the wrong side is a knit, so we knit another one, then we purl 5. Then we have the X, knit, and then we knit the other 4 stitches. Slip the marker, knit to the next marker. This is the sleeve. Past the marker, we knit 4. Then we knit another one, which is the X. Then we purl 5. So it would be knit 5, purl 5, knit 5. So knit 1 and knit the other 4. Past the marker, and we've done the second flower. So I'll show you how to do row number 3 because it's a bit different, and then I'm just going to go ahead and knit through the flower, and I'm sure that you can follow the diagram, and I'm going to show you row number 15, which is a bit different. So see you on row number 3. Okay, let's go ahead and knit row number 3. So it's an increased row. Maybe you can just write where your increased rows are, but you knit to your marker, and just before your marker we're going to do an increase. So we pick the yarn and we knit that stitch through the back loop, then we pass the marker, and then we're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to purl 1, knit 2 together, yarn over. We're going to knit 2 together, yarn over. Then we're going to knit 3. Then we're going to do another yarn over, and then we're going to do a slip 1, knit 1, pass the stitch. So slip 1, knit 1, pass the slip stitch. Then we do a purl 1 and knit 3. I'm going to show you this again. Purl 1 and then we knit 3. And we pass the marker, and again after the flower we do another increase. So we pick the yarn, put it on the left needle and knit it through the back loop. Okay, so I've reached the row 15, and I said I'm gonna show you how to do this stitch in the middle, which is a triangle, and it's called a PSSO, pass slip stitch over the knitted 2 stitches. Anyway, it's easy to do, but I wanted to show you, and that's what makes the point of the petal. So at this point you're almost at the place where you're gonna put your sleeves on scrap yarn, but let's do this first, and then I'm going to show you how to do that. So as per usual, we're going to knit to our first marker. Take this away because it's going to keep sliding off. So we're going to knit to the next marker. Well, the first marker in this case, and we're going to increase 1 because we increase before and after every flower. So we're going to increase 1, past the marker. The first stitch is a purl, Then we do a knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, and now we have to do that triangle stitch. So 3 stitches will become 1. So we're going to slip 1, we're going to knit the next 2 together, and I'm going to pass the slip stitch over like this, and there's the point, like the pointy part of the petal. Then we're going to do a yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass the slip stitch over, and we're going to purl 1. Pass the marker, increase 1, it's always a bit of a pain to do the increases. Then we're going to knit to our next marker, I have to apologize for the lighting because it's going dark, so the sun's going down, so there isn't as much light as it was earlier when I started filming this, but it takes time to do all this filming, but bear with me, I hope you can see. I'm just going to work to the next flower, and I'm going to show you again row number 15 and how to work it for that stitch in the middle. I think it's called the double decrease. That's what it is. Okay, now we're going to make one. Pass the marker, purl the first stitch, knit it together, yarn over, knit 3, then we're going to slip 1, knit 2 together, and pass the slip stitch over. There's the point. Yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, single decrease, and then purl 1. Pass the marker, do another increase, and continue following the pattern till the end of the row. Then come back and do row number 16, and on the pattern it tells us if we are doing a 3 to 6 months, we need to end up with 199 stitches. If we do a 1-year-old, we have to end up with 215, and for a 2-year-old 231, which means we're gonna do more increases for 215 and 231. So for one row of increases we have 8. So from 199 to 215 is 16 stitches. We have to do 2 more right side rows with increases in order to get to 215, and obviously do the calculations for the 231, which is another 2 right side rows of increases. So choose your size, and if you want a 3 to 6 months, then we work 2 more rows, and then we're gonna divide the stitches. However, I'm gonna do a 1-year-old cardigan, so I'm gonna in these next 2 rows that I'm gonna knit, I'm gonna add increases before and after the flower, and I am not going to work the diagram anymore. Instead of the diagram for the 15 stitches, I'm just going to do a garter stitch. So yeah, choose your size and meet me back when we need to split the stitches into sleeves and body. Alright, so now we're ready to put the sleeves on scrap yarn, and on my last round I took off the stitch markers because we don't need them anymore. So let me just get them out of the way. And for the next row, we're going to divide our work. So if you have your pattern in front of you, follow the size that you chose for your cardigan. Let me just get this all organized. Here we go. All right, so for my 1-year-old cardigan, I'm going to have to knit 28. So I'm just going to knit 28 here, and I'm probably going to speed it up in editing. So I think I said 28. No, it's not 28, it's 30, because 28 is for 3 to 6 months old. So I'm going to have to count my stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I need 30 stitches. So knit 30 stitches, or however you need for the size you chose. Then take your tapestry needle and place 47, in my case, stitches on this scrap yarn, and you do this like 1. All right, I believe that's my 47 stitches. So if you're not sure, just go ahead and count again your stitches, and see how many you've got on the scrap needle. Oh, okay. All right, so once you put 47 stitches, or however many you need according to the size that you're making, then the pattern says, so we're going to leave those here like this, and obviously you can make a knot. Let's just make a knot like this to keep the stitches on without moving off. Now the pattern says to cast on 6. So just to cast on, I usually go like this. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope you can see this. Then we have to continue knitting across the back of our cardigan, which is 61 stitches in my size. So we're going to knit 61 stitches here. 1, 2. Alright, so after you finish knitting the back of the sweater, we're going to have to put on scrap yarn the second sleeve. So like we did before, we just put the stitches on the scrap yarn with the tapestry needle. So we've got here 6, so that's 47 stitches on the scrap yarn, which makes the second sleeve. Just put it all through. And do the knot again, so we don't lose the stitches. All right, now we have to cast on 6 again. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we continue knitting the rest of our stitches, which should be 30 in my case. So when you're done with this, you're just gonna knit back and forth. No, yes, back and forth on the body, ignoring these stitches that are the sleeves. I'm just gonna knit to the end, so then I can put it up and you can see it all, how it looks. But the pattern tells you to knit the body until it measures 15 centimeters for 3 to 6 months, 18 centimeters for a 1-year-old, and 23 centimeter for a 2-year-old. And then obviously when you finish, you're gonna knit a rib edge, which will match the one that we started with at the neck. So make sure you make it at kind of the same size as the neck. But let me just show you what we've got here, because it's so exciting. I love it when I get to this point in a cardigan and then you can really see what it's going to look like. Now, to be honest, I find using the yarn and the needles that are recommended, it looks like it's gonna be, I mean, I don't know, maybe it does fit. Let me just see if I can put this up a little bit. There we go. The tripod magic. So here it is. I'll put it down a bit like this. So now it's starting to look like a cardigan. Here we're gonna still do the edge in the front, but these are the sleeves that we're gonna knit down, and then this is the body. And like I said, I think it looks a bit big, but I guess it's supposed to be kind of a loose cardigan. But this is going to be the body, and you're going to continue knitting down until you have 18 centimeters. And when you finish with that, you're going to do the rib at the bottom, and then we're going to come back, pick up the stitches in the sleeves, and we're going to knit the sleeves. And I'll show you that when we get there. Okay, so a few days ago I left you somewhere here to do the rest of the body of the cardigan, and I told you that at the end you need to knit this rib and bind off, and the next thing you want to do is knit the sleeve. So we left the sleeve stitches on this scrap yarn like this, and I've already done one, so I picked up the stitches here, and the pattern calls that you knit back and forth and then sew it together here, but I decided to knit in the round, so it spared me this stitching here, and it looks nice, I think. I do, maybe it's just me, but I see a little bit of a difference from knitting back and forth garter stitch to knitting in the round garter stitch, but it still looks nice. And I ended up here with the cuff 1x1 rib, and I left enough yarn here to weave it in. So as you can see, we've got no stitching to do anywhere in the sleeve. All we have to do is weave in the end. Then I also picked up stitches for the ribbing on the side, on the front, and I left it to show you how to do the left. So this is the right, this is the left, so we're going to do buttonholes on this one, and this is the sleeve. So let's start with the sleeve. I lost my yarn, and you're using you continue using the circular needles, and we're going to do magic loop method with this. So you want your yarn and just put it here on the side, and I've done a knot here so the stitches don't fall off. So undo that knot or cut it if your knot is too strong. I got it. Undo this, otherwise it's not going to come out. Oh, come on. Oh well, I'll just pull it through the other one. So what I did, I slipped the stitches on my needle like this, and then I have to say, I don't always follow pattern, but you can follow the pattern as it says. It's totally fine. I just like to make my life easier. And so after slipping these stitches on my needles, I picked up stitches. I'll show you. And I did follow the pattern because I picked up to have enough stitches as the pattern called for. Maybe I should have done this before I started filming. There, we're nearly there. Here we go. So then you want to pull the yarn out, like this, and then the pattern says to pick up the sleeves you have 47 stitches on the yarn, on the scrap yarn, and then you have to cast on each side to get to 55. So what I did, instead of casting on, I picked up stitches from here. So so from 47 to 55 you have 8 stitches. So I picked up 4 stitches on this side and I joined in the round here, and then all I did is knit the magic loop method for like 2 centimeters, which was, I can tell you exactly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ridges. And then every four row I decreased 2 at the beginning of my round and at the end of my round, and this is what made the sleeve go up like this. And then obviously you have to measure the size you're making, and I because I did a 1-year-old cardigan, I measured it, and mine is, let's just check it out again. So I've got 12 plus 10, so 22 centimeters long, and it's quite nice, I think. So after you picked up your stitches, you want to knit the sleeve, and when you finish with the sleeve, you want to pick stitches on the edge in the front here and make the buttonholes. So I figured for this cardigan I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttonholes on the left side, and then I'm going to put 6 buttons on the right side. And as you can see, the cardigan is a bit curved in the front, and I think it's because of this this pattern here. But when you block it, when you wash it and block it, it all aligns like you see here. So it's all going to work out fine. Just don't worry about that. Pick up your stitches, and for here I picked up, I think, more than the pattern called for, because I just it depends on the length of the cardigan that you do. So just pick up enough stitches so it doesn't look stretched, or it doesn't look too like curled up. And when you finish with that, then all you have to do is weave in the ends and wash it and block it. And I think this is the cutest cardigan I've ever seen. I love these flower patterns, and you can see them on the back as well. They're so cute. And also you can make this a jumper without the middle button without being buttoned up. So not a cardigan but a jumper, which means you just knit in the round. Yeah, I really hope that you like this, and you're gonna knit it. So please send me photos on Instagram or Twitter, and leave comments down below if you need any help with anything else. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.